Hey, today is June 7th. It's a Monday, and I'm going to be going over the two setups I took today. They were on Microsoft and Facebook, respectively. Um, I would have to say that today, in the last whatever year and a half I've traded, today was probably one of my best trading days. Uh, Not in terms of profits, I did make a good amount, but just in terms of execution, just in terms of patience, just in terms of being able to identify the high quality setups and then taking them with confidence, I can just see my growth as a trader, and I'm definitely getting better each day. So it was good to start off the week nice and capitalize on two good setups where I went two for two. So let me go over to video and can begin. Okay, so let's start off with Microsoft higher time frame analysis. So I mentioned this yesterday. I posted in the Discord that I'm watching for a clean break of the 252 level. And why is 252 such an important level? Well, you can see that right here in this area, it acted as support. Let me just maybe highlight that as green just to show you that this is support right here. And now in this area, 1, 2, 3, 4, it acted as resistance. So 252 is a key level. I can do red for resistance. So right here, it acted as resistance 4 different times, So right here, twice it acted as support, came up, breached below it, and now it's trying to get over this 252 level as resistance. So I know that if we have momentum backing it up, we should be able to have a strong breakthrough 252, hopefully to 30-minute supply. Obviously, that's not what happened, but regardless, that was my plan going into today. It was one of my main setups. So now let's go down to an intraday time frame where we can really analyze where I entered, why I entered, and all of that. Okay. So I want to pull up SPY and QQQ because that's really, really important. So you can see that the first candle we had was a huge bullish candle right here. Bullish candle, and then we start moving up. Let's look at ES. So ES, first 15 minutes, we just breached the low a day, and we have all of these upper wicks. This green box is actually supply. Don't get it mistaken. I can actually change this. So this is actually supply, but it was used. So I was anticipating that we'd break through it. But regardless, ES was moving lower, coming lower. NQ was extremely choppy, bouncing out of demand, but no real confirmation to take this long out of demand. Super, super choppy. But Microsoft, on the other hand, just had a beautiful bullish candle. This is a nice 250 approximately, a nice $1 candle with nice volume in a 5-minute time frame. So I know that buyers are interested in Microsoft. So now I'm looking for some potential long entry. So I was looking at the 252 key level to get long, or potentially prior day's high. So prior day's high was around 251.7. So a break of prior day's high and then the break of 252 should cause a nice move higher. So I had a couple of people DM me and they said, Shrey, why didn't you take it as soon as we crossed at 252? Why did you enter right at 9:55 and 15 seconds? Because that was my exact fill. Why didn't you wait for the 252 break? And that's because I'm looking for some sort of clean pattern to take it long. I always like to anticipate the break slightly, and I always want to see some sort of clean 5-minute RBR, 15-minute RBR through the key level, or maybe break of the key level, 5-minute RBR, and then move higher. So you can clearly see that we had a nice rally. Then we based right below prior day's high. So I knew that a good 5-minute RBR with momentum backed on its side should get a nice move through prior day's high and then this 252 level. So let me just go over my confirmations. The first one being this 5-minute RBR. The second thing which I really, really liked was this volume spike. So this clearly shows me that buyers are interested. Volume is average, and then on the first rally candle, there's nice volume coming in. So that's 2 confirmations. 3 confirmations is obviously the relative strength. We made higher lows while NQ is choppy and ES made lower lows. So that's 3 confirmations. My fourth confirmation was, the break of this 252 key level. It's a higher time frame analysis. Let's go to the hourly chart again. You can see that I haven't been trading Microsoft at all because the higher time frame is telling me that we're choppy, and now we're finally starting to come above this 252 level, so it's backed up by higher time frames. So that's 4 or 5 confirmations backed up by a higher time frame analysis. 9 out of 10 times it's going to work. So let me just go over entries. I played 6 contracts right here. I believe the fill was 178, so $178 per contract. Immediately got this nice move up. I took 2 off right here. As soon as we broke 252, premiums inflate. I'm gonna capitalize. Sell my contracts to retail chasing up here. So that was my second, or no, that was my first scale out. Took out 2 here. Rest of the 4 now break even. And then at this point, I started to notice that, okay, we just had a nice breakthrough, a higher time frame play, and Microsoft isn't moving. The options aren't moving as well as I thought they'd move. The options moved 12-15 cents at this point, and we just rallied 40 cents through a major key level. So in the back of my mind, I was a little bit cautious. Also considering the fact that ES was dropping with no fresh demand lower. So to me, that's a little bit concerning. So I entered 2 at 178, got 2 out at 190, and then I just to protect myself, I took another one off here just by looking at the action of ES, the fact that Microsoft is struggling here. So I still am in half of my position, but at this point I am just waiting, so whatever, I scale out half, and now I go over to the 15-minute time frame, and I see this beautiful 15-minute rally form. So to me, that's telling me that, okay, buyers are holding this 252 level. It acts as resistance. Now I can say with confidence this level is going to act as support now, because that's how support and resistance work. We break the resistance. Now we come and we try breaching 252, but we can't, because this 252 key level will now act as support. We come back, we almost touched 252. So I was anticipating this 15-minute RBR, so excellent patience from my end, not just scaling out all 6 contracts because I'm making money. So then we had this nice push off. I believe I took off another one here at 218, so 40 cents on my 4th contract right here after this nice push up. And I can bet you that there were retail traders buying up here, and all I did is enter before the break, and now I'm just selling my contracts to retail chasing up here. And then finally, I was waiting to see if we'd hold this level right here, prior high of day, and this was a very, very bad close, doji with an upper wick. So as soon as we started coming down, I sold the last 2 of my contracts for, I believe, 205. So in hindsight, yes, we did rally higher. However, my plan was if we failed this 15-minute RBNR, considering the fact that SPY is dropping, I'm just going to get rid of my entire position. No reason to sell, no reason to hold this, considering we failed this 15-minute RBR. In hindsight, we did move higher. However, my plan was if we fail this 15-minute RBR, I would get out, and that's exactly what I did. So absolutely no regrets on this trade. Yes, it moved higher, but according to the way I trade, this, in my opinion, was a beautiful trade. Everything went right in this trade. My scale outs were near perfect. My entry was almost near perfect. I got a little bit of a late fill, but that just happens sometimes. The thesis behind the trade was perfect. So in my opinion, I locked in 124 US dollars. So honestly, that's not a flat trade, but that's not too much considering I was playing 6 contracts. However, it was a good trade. And now I'm going to be moving on to Facebook. One more thing I want to go over, I'll go over at the end of the video actually, and it's a good lesson. But man, Facebook was a killer trade today. I believe I locked in around 290 something US dollars after commissions. And my patience on this trade, while it wasn't the best, it really was good. And I'll explain why. So higher time frame, 1 hour. So again, a higher time frame analysis, you could see that, Facebook, if you go to an hourly chart, we are right next to all-time highs. On top of that, we've been rejecting this 332 key level. Not key level, but I would say it's intraday, or it is resistance. I'm not going to mark it, but every time we try to get to 332, we fail. And then we come up again, we fail, try again on Wednesday, fail, come again last Friday, we fail. So 332 is definitely it's definitely an area of resistance, and if we get above it with momentum, that's the key. The reason why we didn't get above it in the last week is because we simply didn't have any momentum to get above this level. Buyers just weren't ready to get us above this. They were consolidating for the next leg up. So let me go down to an intraday time frame. Again, if I go over to SPY and QQQ, they really aren't doing anything, but I really don't have much analysis on them. NQ choppy, just holding this demand. We rally, come back. So no, my personal style isn't even to trade the futures, but just looking at it, nothing really going on. SPY and QQQ didn't give me any confirmations at all. But one thing I do want to point out is the fact that Facebook originally bounced from 45-minute demand. This was a valid play if you got long in 45-minute demand. Remember, as I talked about, demand is going to work best in uptrends. So we're consistently making higher lows. So it's valid to play a demand, and demand's going to be higher probability because we are in an uptrend. So this play was definitely valid. I personally avoided because of two reasons. One, this was during the first 5 minutes. I don't trade in the first 5 minutes, plain and simple. Second, I personally do not like playing calls out of demand and puts out of supply because it's not really my edge. I like to use them for caution areas, profit targets, and all of that. So one thing I want to mention is the fact that Facebook was making higher lows all throughout the morning. I'm going to draw this trend line just to indicate the fact that we were making higher lows. ES was making lower lows. NQ, super choppy, breach below low day. So while we may look choppy, we are clearly making higher lows. So that is my first confirmation, the fact that we're making higher lows. My second confirmation was the fact that we're bouncing out of 45-minute demand. That's two confirmations. My third confirmation was that, we were breaking above the 332 level. This isn't just like a high day level or a prior high day level. As I talked about, it's a higher time frame level, which we've been rejecting for a long, long time. Also lined up perfectly with prior high day. So that's three confirmations. My fourth confirmation is, look at this. This is what I love in a trade. I love increasing volume. It just shows me that buyers are interested. So as we moved up, as we broke high day, as we closed above the 332 level, we had increasing volume. So buyers are willing to pay the higher price to take us higher. So what is that? 4 confirmations. This is just annoying. Sorry. And obviously my fifth confirmation was the fact that we had a beautiful 5-minute rally, base rally, retesting the 332 level, and it was originally resistance. So resistance labeled here will now become support because now we got above the 332 level. So 5-minute RBR acting as the 332 level as support. That's my fifth confirmation. And then we had a sixth confirmation, which was all-time highs. I don't like taking all-time high breaks because it's really saturated, but I love getting in before because I can bet you there were a shit ton of traders up here who lost money, and all I did was sell my contracts to them. So I just listed 6 confirmations here. One thing I want to say is that a couple of people who consistently watch my videos, I know you guys capitalize on Facebook. A couple of you DM me as well. And I just want to say that, I'm extremely proud of you. You guys have been putting in the work, putting in the effort, and this was one of your first big wins. So just, congratulate yourselves. And see how you could have improved this trade, because I'm going to be talking about how I could have improved this trade. So now that I went over the confirmations, let me video 15 minutes. I need to end it soon. But obviously my fill was really, really good. Entered right before high day, so I got in around 332.6. I'm playing 4 contracts. I got filled at 295. I immediately take off 2 as we break all-time highs. And why do I do that? You got to think about it. So millions of retail traders, or probably billions of retail traders, are buying this all-time high break. So the premiums are going to spike, because at this second, there are probably a shit ton of traders trying to get in for this all-time high break. You can probably see it better on a 1 minute chart. Look at this volume on a 1 minute. It's unbelievable. It's the highest volume of the day, higher than the 930 volume. And the reason for that is, I can bet you that this candle is an all-time high, 1107. So is it this one? No, it's the candle right before. But regardless, we have a shit ton of volume through all-time high, so the premiums are going to spike. Take off my first 2 contracts. The fill was a little bit bad. I could have got a couple of more cents, but I did take off 2 right here at I believe a price of 358. So almost immediately I lock in, about 110 bucks. So at this point, we had this next push up. I just put my limit at 4 to see if I get filled. I'm basically, casting my reel out in the ocean, and I'm waiting for retail traders to bite. Dylan talks about this in his video. All you do is just set your limit, 5-10% above the ask. And, when we have the push up, you're probably going to get filled, especially if you're trading on IB. So I got my next contract off here. And then I know a lot of traders, took their final position off here. However, my rule was very simple. I base all of my decisions based off of the 5-minute candle. So, yes, I was willing to stop out for break even. However, I was going to wait for a 5-minute candle close before rushing into any decisions. So, we had a 5-minute candle close. We had a 5-minute candle close above all-time highs. So, in my opinion, no reason to exit the position. And then we tried getting above all-time highs again, and then we immediately failed. So, at this point, I was safe to say that it's valid to take off your last contract here, because in my opinion, we closed above all-time highs, which is very good. I had good patience. And then we tried getting above all-time highs and we failed. So just to protect myself, I took off my last contract. And this is where I think I could have gone better. I don't see a single 5-minute close below all-time highs. Yes, we may have closed like a cent or 2 below, but this wasn't a massive close below all-time highs. So unless we close below all-time highs, there's really no reason to get out of this trade. Maybe on a 15-minute. No, we didn't have a rally-based rally. Maybe 30-minute. No, I doubt so. Okay, but regardless, we really didn't have a close below all-time highs. So the question to myself is, why the hell would I sell my last contract here, knowing I was patient enough to wait for this 11:15 candle? I could have easily, maybe sold my last one here. I believe that this right here, once we broke all-time highs, 5-minute RBR is a valid place to get long. I'm probably not going to catch all this entire move up, because that's like a $4 or $5 move. But I definitely could have gotten more juice out of my last contract. I think that's where I could have definitely improved. But besides that one minor thing, my trading was almost flawless today, and I am up, I believe, 418 US dollars after commission. So a beautiful way to start off the week. And I'm very, very happy with my trading. And last thing I want to go over is, lately all of my recaps have been over stocks like Facebook. Why is that? Because just go to the bigger picture. Facebook is breaking all-time highs. I'm making videos on Nvidia too, because Nvidia is making all-time highs almost every single day too. So that's why I'm focusing on stocks like Nvidia, Facebook, even Google. I was eyeing this 2400 break. Obviously didn't work out, but Google also has relative strength compared to some of the other equities like Amazon. I'm not touching Amazon until I can get clear direction to the upside. We can find one more. AMC, no, that has strength. What about Netflix? No, Netflix, super, super choppy. I'm not touching Netflix until we move to the upside. I know traders who trade Tesla every single day. for me, it's simple. I'm not trading Tesla until we can get clear direction to the upside, and I'm not willing to play puts in this market. And that's what I mean by being super selective. Only play the stocks with the most strength, only play the setups with the most amount of confirmations, so you can get that win rate up and you can start developing consistency. But the video is 20 minutes longer than anticipated, but I'm going to end it here. And great job to those who watched my videos and were able to capitalize on the good moves today. And I'll be back to trade for the rest of the week.